Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Warren Kibbles channel. Today I have got quite the story for you. This one is about a childhood experience of mine. Let's just say there was a pretty creepy girl I used to sit next to in elementary school. So, this happened to me around 5th grade. Yes, the story times are actually progressing. Not everything in my life happened in 3rd grade, honestly. If it did, that would be a pretty sad life. But anyway, it was about 5th grade, and there was this girl who had always had some kind of beef with me. She had been in my classes for like the last 2 years, and whether it was trying to be cooler than me or be better than me, she just always seemed like throughout the years she was kind of trying to foil my ideas. Like there was a time I started a club all centered around and focused on making these paper origami pandas, and she had to create this whole rival club about making origami dogs, and it became a whole grade-wide war at my school. And let's just say people fought pretty dirty over these things that were literally just pieces of paper. But that's all a story for another day. Perhaps I'll tell the story of my grade school nemesis in one of my next videos. But today I want to just focus on this one thing she did to me in 5th grade. Now, this all starts on the first day of 5th grade, and of course we had the classic seating chart of assigned places, and of course my seat was next to hers. So, reluctantly I take my seat, but I'm pretty hopeful. It's been all summer, we're getting older, maybe she's changed. I'm thinking maybe she's not so strange anymore, and the day goes by and nothing really happens. So I'm thinking, maybe this really won't be so bad. Well, my dear viewers, this would all change soon. As time went on, she started to acquire a myriad of things in her desk, and oh boy, her desk. When you think of the classic dirty elementary school desk, you generally assume boys have the worst desks. Just endless mess of papers all shoved in the desk like a brick, random pencils, crumbs, crayons, erasers, just all shoved in there willy-nilly, but no. No, she was worse. Her desk was all of that times like 2, bro. She had all that and more. Like clumps of hair in her desk, a jar of Vaseline, and worst of all, a pink unicorn glitter slime. Now, when I say unicorn glitter slime, nobody thinks anything bad. I mean, generally all those words give off a sort of whimsy, but let me tell you, there was no sunshine and rainbows inside that container of slime. No, that slime was rancid. It started as pink, but as she rolled it onto the floor, the desk, and anything else in the classroom, over time, it had turned to a gross, like pinkish gray. She also liked to combine it with things like markers, a lint, that jar of Vaseline I mentioned earlier, all combining to make this slime more like one giant conglomerate slimy hairball than a stress toy. And worst of all was the smell. Oh, the smell. It didn't smell like something had died in it, but it definitely smelt the closest that my 5th grade brain came to the smell of death. That thing was horrid, and it wafted over from her desk into mine, and she would play with it, squishing it around in different ways every single day, just exfoliating that smell around me. Now, these are just the things she had in her desk. But what she did with those things is what really made this experience traumatic for me. One day, I'm just sitting there, minding my business, of course. I mean, just doing 5th grade things, probably drawing a dragon or pretending to do math, and she's sitting next to me, as always, playing with her radioactive glitter hairball slime, stretching it, squishing it, whispering to it, I don't know, and she looks at me with this grin, like she just thought of the best idea. I already knew that I was in danger. She looks at me and she goes, touch it. And I'm like, no. Absolutely not. She keeps insisting. She's like, come on, touch it. It's fun. I'm standing my ground. I am not touching that thing. I am staying where I am. Not a single ounce of being could be convinced for me to touch that thing. And then out of nowhere, She grabs my wrist and just slams my entire hand straight into this slime. I wouldn't have gotten my hand out of there faster if it were a bowl of literal fire. I'm instantly trying to wipe this thing off, like on anything, my pants, the desk, probably even my hopes and dreams, and she's just laughing. So I'm like I'm literally like freaking out because it's genuinely like the grossest thing that 5th grade me has experienced up in this point to my life. And so I just like stand up and I go to the teacher. I'm like, you have to get me a new seat. I just like, I'm full serious. I'm asking for like a new seat. And I'm like, this is why. And I explain everything to him. Like, I'm really uncomfortable right now. And this guy just goes, just ignore her. And I'm like, I can't ignore her. She literally forced my hand into this slime. And this bum of a teacher just probably didn't want to deal with it or something. But he threatened me with sending me to the office. He literally was like, okay, if you don't calm down, I'm going to have to send you to the office. Just go sit back down in your seat. And that shut me up. I wasn't happy with it, but I had to just kind of go sit back down. So I go back to my seat feeling kind of defeated. And when I sit down, she pulls out this jar of Vaseline that she kept in her desk of horrors. Before I can react, she just reaches over and wipes a glob right on my arm. Just puts it on there. And obviously, I start freaking out. This is like the second disgusting thing that she has done to me in the last like 15 minutes. And I'm freaking out like, get it off, get it off. And she just goes, okay, I'll get it off. And this girl leans over and licks it off my arm. And she just sits back like she didn't do anything insane. At that moment, I realized something about elementary school. It wasn't about learning. It was about surviving. I also learned that she was insane and that I would have beef with her forever until I moved states. But so, yeah, that was my life in 5th grade. I was dodging biohazards while everybody else was learning how to read. Moral of the story? I don't know. Stay away from slime? But anyway, if you enjoyed this story and want to hear more about my grade school nemesis, this whole panda versus dog puppet war, let me know, because that one is a cinematic universe all on its own. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll see you guys in the next one, and as always, thanks for watching.